Hey YouTubers, it's Michael back with The Chosen and Beyond. So I'm traveling today, so I'm not in my normal location, but I wanted to do this video on costume design, some inspirations, go over some of the updates. I did get an update a couple of weeks ago from Come and See Foundation live events email department, and they sent like kind of an updated information on what to expect as an extra, a little bit more information about the costumes. And then I've been working on my costume, so I wanted to share some updates there. So we'll go ahead and get started. I just wanted to be able to bring this up. I will also provide some recommendations on some costumes that I found online. Some people are great and very artsy and can make their own costumes. I am not one of those people. So I went to Etsy and found a few people who make costumes on there, and I looked through the options and I made some decisions. Selected one vendor, which I'll go through in the video and kind of show some different things on that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the email I got a few weeks ago, I just took a couple screenshots, and I will make sure the links are in the description. So if you want to email the team, the Come and See team that's handling the live events, I will definitely put all that information. But as you can see, it says carefully read the FAQ. That is in my last video. I will post a link in the description as well. But it just says basically start planning your costumes. There's a prop and costume guide that you can look at, and there's some videos that focus on male and female costumes. All of that I covered in my previous video, so I won't do that here. But basically the updates are you have to come dressed. Show up, make sure you are dressed. You'll need to remain in the costume all day and make sure you dress whichever region you've chosen, right? So they're just letting you know that. If you're going to be there for a few days, you can change the costume. So if you want to do 2 costumes or 3 costumes, you could do that. And it says also to carry a few personal items along with you during filming. You can do that, but remember, it's got to be in a age-appropriate bag. So I'll go show a couple examples of that. You don't need formal approval on your costume as long as it's one of the types in the guides. I'm just going to stress that. You can't do, for example, Caesar or a Roman general or soldier or something like that. You can't do anything that would possibly go beyond an extras type of costume, which is what they portray which is what they give examples of, right, in the FAQ guide, right? So just for an example, you can't, yeah, okay. And then lastly, it says you'll be filming this summer, so it's going to be really hot. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have water, sunscreen, whatever you think you need. It's going to be really early in the morning that we're getting there, right? Yeah, so it says they'll send the times out 1 week ahead of time. So like the week before, we'll know. This is mostly for Midlothian, as I think everyone is in Utah filming right now. So if you're there, I'm excited for you there. Sorry I couldn't be there. It didn't work out with my schedule to be in Utah this month, but I'm really excited. This is mostly going to be for the people in Texas in August, so very excited. They just wanted to also mention that they are sold out of any, there's no additional tickets. So you can't bring any more +1s if you don't already have a ticket, and the days you are assigned to, you cannot change those days. If you do have any questions, you can email them at the live events at thechosen.tv. I will put all that in the description as well, so you don't have to take a note of that. But okay, so just going through here, I just put together a few slides. So costume requirements and recommendations. So they recommend you come fully dressed. They want you to select like a faction or a group, right? So there's the Jews. You could be a specific from Galilee, from Judea. You could be a Samaritan. You could be a Roman. There was an episode in season 3, towards the end of season 3. I want to say it's the last 2 episodes where they show Nabateans, Syrophoenician, the Hellenes, and that's all at the end of season 3. So those last 2 episodes of season 3, I will put the links in the description. So if you want to get a little bit more detail, a lot of good examples in those last 2 episodes. Well, yeah, so you're going to be there for multiple days. Well, you might need to rotate costumes or wash your outfit overnight if it gets dirty. So just keep that in mind. And the bags, I will go through some of that, but they really want to be light bags, and they have to be basically fabric that would have been possible in the biblical times. But you don't technically need approval for the costume as long as you don't go outside of those guidelines that we talked about already. So here we go. So here's a couple examples. So I went on Etsy and I found some really cool small businesses that are working on costumes and selling them on Etsy. So the 2 I found was Roxy's Nest, which you can see here on the left. She has a lot of tunic style and some robe styles, and they're very intricate. The headdresses are usually intricate, and she includes accent pieces. Like you can see this one, I think that has a little water. I know it's a small picture, but I will definitely put links in the description where you can see these in bigger pictures. Comes with a water bottle and a necklace and maybe a bracelet or whatever, and a headpiece. So you can of course contact Roxy. If you go to, you can see the link there, etsy.com/shop/Roxy's Nest, and you can email her and say, hey, I'm interested in costume number 20, on the chosen costume number 20 on your page. Does that come with this necklace or whatever? You can totally ask her that. She'll get back to you. She was very prompt. So I really enjoyed working with her. I actually selected Roxy for my costume. I also did notice that there were several other vendors. I just selected the next one that I thought had a lot of examples. So this is Mindy Jo Studio, etsy.com/shop/Mindy Jo Studio. She had a lot of wraps. I saw she had a lot of wraps, scarves, just a little bit more simpler, look like more just some basic tunics with wraps and things like that, but really focusing more on the wraps there, a little bit more economical on the pricing there. So it ranges from everything I've seen, some things as low as like 100 to 200, and then there's ones that are a little bit more 300 to 400, but they're much more intricate. So just a couple of things wrapping up. The fabric choices, you definitely want to see the link in the description for the FAQ guide, because that has all different colors and the fabrics that you can choose. I will say there was some confusion, I believe, in some of the groups online and some of the groups where they were saying you can't wear certain colors, like you can't wear all white. Yeah, you are not allowed to show up in an entire white robe. Like, for example, that might be something that Jesus would have wore or something that one of the other characters would wear. But if you want to have a white sash, you can do that. So the colors that you're not allowed to wear, those are like your whole outfit. You think about it going to a wedding, right? You can't wear white to the wedding, right? That's for the bride, right? So that's what they meant. So don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze. Of course, you can always email if you have questions. But I think if you look at the guide, that's helpful. The bag tips, I will highlight here in a moment. I'm going to do a video on my costume, and I will show the bag, and I will show the water storage, which is a historic kind of antique looking. Okay, so you can see here the costume that I had made from Roxy. I love the necklace, has the 12 stones for the 12 tribes on it. You can see the custom bag. It's made of linen, so I'll put my personal belongings there. Then you see she's going around to the right now. You can see the water bottle that's historical, looks like leather. And then I've got some gauntlets that I had custom made, which I thought was really cool. But I really like the 2 layers. She made an underlayer tunic of olive green and then kind of an over vest of the colors of the mustard seed and salmon. So I really love those colors, and she was really great on making these. All the way around looks just great. It looks just so authentic, and I just love the pattern. You can also see this includes a head piece, which is pretty decent size, and you watch the shows and there's a lot of those there. And then she enhanced it a little bit with the leather belt, and then I like the salmon v-neck kind of collar, which I thought was really cool. So really, really awesome. Really excited to be wearing this costume. Thank you, Roxy. Just some final thoughts. You're going to incorporate layers, right? So there'll be an undergarment, then there'll be an overgarment, those kind of things. You've got they call reference, like maybe tunic and cloak right there. And then just remember, you're not wearing a costume. You're part of the story. You're part of the chosen team. So wear something that you really think is great. Pick the colors that you think is most exciting. If there is a character that you really and you want to wear a similar necklace or scarf or something, yeah, you can totally do that. Just don't look exactly like that character. I think that's the most important thing. Okay, and then here we go. I wish I could zoom in on this, but I just have a screenshot. So this was Roxy's Nest on Etsy. I got to work with Roxy. She was really great. She's super prompt. If you're in a pinch to get a costume and you have a budget of a few $100s or more, I highly recommend reaching out to Roxy. She will work with you. You can see on the left here, this is actually my costume. I asked for some integrations on, I wanted a tunic with kind of the V-neck, and I wanted it a little bit more fancy, and I wanted to really accent the colors, mustard seed and olive green. I really love that. And so she was able to make this up for me, and I really enjoyed that. You can see it comes with a bag. You can see the bag is, you can't really see it, but if you look just to the left of where the water bottle is, you can see that it's like a blue linen bag, right? It's a very simple kind of light blue bag with the strap, and so that's where all my personal belongings will be. And then you can see in the woman's example I have her on the right, a purple, a little bit more dress-like outfit, but it still has like an older shoulders kind of thing going. Very nice. And then there's a basket. Looks like this person has a basket instead of the bag. So anything that would have worked during those times is going to work. Really enjoyed looking through this. just to wrap up, you can see Mindy Joe's studio. She went with the sash, and it looks like it could be a leather. I want to say either leather or a similar fabric brown bag with an over shoulder strap. So there's that option too. So you can go with a linen, you could go with a basket, or you could do some type of leather product there. So I thought that was really interesting. Thank you so much for joining us on The Chosen and Beyond today. Please watch The Chosen and thechosen.tv if this is the first time seeing this video, or give me a thumbs up if you like the channel, and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. I will do another video when we get a little bit closer to the filming, when they release additional times. I won't reveal anything that's not supposed to be revealed, but maybe there'll be some more information. I'll make sure I cover that. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.